In this video, I'm going to be walking you through the steps to install the Ghost Recon Wildlands first-person mod that only works on PC. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need to do to install the mod is go to your install path for the game. So if you have the game installed on Steam, I do not, but if you do, you're going to want to just find the game, right-click it, go to Manage, and then click on Browse Local Files. But if you're like me and you have Ghost Recon Wildlands on Ubisoft Connect, you're going to want to find where it is under your installed games. So for me, it's right here. Click on it, click on Properties, and then click Open Folder. So Steam, Ubisoft Connect, it doesn't matter where you have this game installed, you just have to get to your install path. And that's where we are right now. The next thing you're going to want to do is open up the link provided in the description below, and it will take you to the first-person mod, and you're going to want to go ahead and go to Files, and then download the .exe version 2.1 or greater. Click on Manual Download, and you might have to create an account and log into Nexus Mods, and I will say that they do limit your install, and that does suck. Just wait for the mod to finish downloading, and then come back to this video. Once your mod is finished downloading, you're going to want to go ahead and find it. So for me, it is right here. I recommend having an application like WinRAR or 7-Zip to extract stuff a lot easier. You're going to want to open it up, and you're greeted with these things. So the first step is to find your Easy Anti-Cheat folder, open that up, highlight these two Easy Anti-Cheat files, and then drag and drop them into that folder. And the next step is to go back to the main install path and then just drag and drop the grw.exe. So drag and drop the grw.exe, and you're done. You have installed the mod pack. Your next step is to open the game with the grw.exe file you've just placed into the folder. And once you do that, I'm going to walk you through some tips and tricks on how to get the game running better, because it's going to be a little wonky at first. All right, and here we are in game. So I'm just going to run through a couple of basic things and tips and tricks that I recommend to get this mod really working the way you want to. And so the first thing that I will say is that if you're in third person and you try to aim directly down the barrel of your gun, so not over the shoulder, but directly down the barrel of your gun, your character's head model will just get in the way. That is just a bug currently with this mod, and I don't know if there's going to be a way for them to fix it just because of the way the camera works when you go into first person. Because when you go into first person, it basically gets rid of your character's head on the character model, but you can still see the shadow. So the button to swap between first and third person, you go to your options, go to keyboard and mouse, go to key mapping, go to player item, and it is your flare gun. So I have bound my swapping between first and third person key to mouse button 4, but by default, it is 0 on your key row. So if you were going to click 0 to equip your flare gun, instead of doing that, it will just swap between first and third person. So there is a bug when you try to ADS, but you can still just fire over your hip in third person, which I think just looks cooler anyway. And if I was in an intense firefight, I would click this button on my mouse to put myself back into first person, where I can also hip fire or aim down sights, and this works like normal. Another thing that I will say is that if you try to drive a vehicle in first person, sometimes you will have obnoxious sun visors in your way. And so if they're folded down, you know, this isn't a game where you're able to fold that back up. So if your visibility inside of a vehicle is limited in first person, you might want to swap to third person to drive, which makes sense. Problem is, you can't do that while you're in the vehicle. So to swap into third person, you have to get out, click the key to swap into third person, and then get back in. So you cannot just swap between first and third person while driving. It's kind of annoying, but those two things are the biggest bugs and just annoyances I can think of while playing this mod pack. You might want to customize your controls a little bit just to get your controls laid out to a way that makes sense and that is comfortable for you. For me, I want to keep my hand on my mouse at all times in a firefight. So if I'm getting shot at, I don't have to reach over and press 0 and then come back to my mouse or whatever. So I think the easiest way to swap between first and third person is just to bind it to a key like mouse button 5, which is what it is for me. And I'm going to turn off my HUD here because I usually play without a HUD on anyway. And we're just going to take out some people here. And yeah, this mod pack is, or just not mod pack, just mod is a lot of fun. I think it's totally worth it. Uh-oh. See what I just did? It does take some getting used to. There are going to be a couple bugs like that just happen. It is unfortunate, but yeah, this is just basically a whole new way to play the game, and I think it's really cool, and I am not doing that good right now. But thank you guys so much for watching this tutorial. I hope it was helpful. I hope you got the mod installed. If you have any questions, let me know down below. Make sure you followed everything that I said during the installation process, or you will have issues, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.